Okay, so today we cover the accuracy and the power you can get with a stock 760. Okay, first of all, I want to focus on the front sight. I'm real pleased how that turned out. As you can see, it is white, and I used painter's tape. And I did a real careful job, and then white nail polish, and that came out beautifully. It is so helpful with low light conditions. It really is a lifesaver. And that one came out so well, it almost looks like it came from the factory. I have to say that. So something to consider. Okay, so we'll start with that. And then we will talk about the politics. Well, companies make different decisions about their pricing. So let's talk about JSB first. All right. These are popular pellets, and at least with one distributor, their prices have really gotten high. So these are over $20 for a tin, and these are about $20. So these are like $23. And they're both very popular, and these really are magic workers. I don't give a lot of ammunition that title. And they look good in this gun. So the thing is, if you have these, let's say you have a nice gun and you already have these pellets, then when you buy your 760, you're good to go. I would say out of the two, these just really stand out in a smoothbore pump gun. Great in PCPs, really expensive gun, and in a basic one like this. So, yeah, but the price, if you don't have this, I knew I needed to find other options. But let's look at what the JSB Heavy can do. After I did my basic lube job on the hammer and the pump, as I talked about in other videos, I haven't had to change the sights. It doesn't come with windage, but the sights out of the box, I just left them, other than the white on the blade. I haven't had to adjust the sights, folks. So, all right, so let's take a look. So, as the first time I sit down, my first shots with JSB Heavies, first paper shooting, 13 yards from the front of the gun. So 9 out of 10. Folks, that's good for a smooth bore. And before someone says, well, I can do that with my Red Ryder, yeah, with no power. Okay, so and it has to be a good shooting Red Ryder. But so first try on paper, 9 out of 10. So again, Magic Workers, great pellets, but very expensive. But let's show you what they do with power. So 8 pumps at 13 yards, it still holds its line. I mean, it's a straight shot. It's a devastating impact. That looks like a 22 hit this. And then, as you can see, have fun with this out the other side. Okay, and then the other ones are 7 pumps like this, and that also out the other side. And then when the water was filled, this would be more realistic to field conditions. It had some weight in it. It made a clean hole, and then punched out the other side. But yeah, it really worked over the can either way. Okay, so that's impressive. But now we need to talk about, realistically, if you don't have JSB pellets already and you just buy this gun, and I'm not going to ask someone to spend that much money on pellets when they're not going to do it for a $40 or $30 gun. Okay, so we come back to Crosman, so that works out great politically. Okay, so I have enough experience, I definitely can say with confidence, these Easy to Find pellets by Crosman, their premier line, make sure it does say that on it. They're both 7.4 Wadcutter pointed pellet, and I can tell you that, okay, M4 Bushmaster, 1100, and now the 760, I'm getting very good results, and they're basically interchangeable. More accurate, and this is literally a killer in the field. It's just great. It's amazing, the stories I have with this. Real quick on the history of these, that design has been around for decades, and it's always been known as excellent penetrator way before alloy pellets. But with the premier tag on it, I've just been really impressed with improvement in accuracy, even in a smooth bore. Okay, so let's take a look at these pellets on paper. All right, so with the Wadcutters, not a big surprise. So at 13 yards, they look good. So 10 for 10, all in there. That's good for a smooth bore with power. And then at 15 yards, 8 out of 10 with no wild shots. That's in line with the target. That's in line with the border of that target area. In the field, they could all be hits, but 8 out of 10. Let's take a closer look at this. So we have a hit here, here, and then the other 6 grouped up really nicely in the top area there. Again, not bad for a smooth bore. And Crosman pellets hit very hard, even their Wadcutters. So that's good. Now let's shift to the pointed pellets. Okay, and show their power. Now, this is interesting. These are piranhas, and I'm not going to recommend those in this gun. Do what you're going to do with your own money, but this represents, I tried to give the piranhas a break with this gun, and they look good in rifling, but my 760 didn't like them, so I won't blame the pellet. This was actually 6 shots. One actually, if you watch my finger, went right by the pellet trap. It missed the pellet trap. I am serious about that, and yeah. So anyway, and then you look over at the pointed pellets, and that's, my M4 can't group much tighter than that. That's only on 5 pumps. Okay, and that's pretty tight. So at that range, that was 13 yards. 5 pumps for these Crosmans. Let me bring these both back in here again. So, because they're basically interchangeable. So 5 pumps when it's somewhere around like 13 yards or closer. When you stretch it out to 15 yards or around there, then you jump to 7 pumps, and they both perform really well. Okay. So, and then we look at 15 yards, and this is where it starts to get a little scary. Because, okay, those 2 misses are bad, and there are a few here, a few here. It's 8 out of 10, so that's great. But the misses are a little scary. So I'm going to try to keep this in the field to around 15 yards. And now then the question becomes, can you use Crosman Wadcutters? Because you do want to hit what you're aiming at. And yes, because they hit so hard, they're hard lead. Yes, I would say you could. But the pointed pellets still have odds on their side. They 8 out of 10. Okay, so let's take a look at what they did to this can. All right. On 7 pumps, they look pretty impressive. And 8 pumps, I want you to look at the exits on these. This is where it gets interesting. Where you see those flaps, fly up like that, that is a gun shooting through with style. Like here when you see it squeeze out. So that's 7 pumps, that's 8 pumps, both of those. I wanted to show that on video. So at that range, this was 13 yards. The Crosman pointed pellets did pretty well. At 15 yards, I had some hits here, and it, still dug in there. But yeah, it definitely, the pointed pellets definitely are the real deal. I would stay at 7 pumps, just because you're going to have a little more accuracy if you can abide by that. 8 pumps, I would keep that at close range, just because of what we saw here. So anyway, yeah. So both of these pellets by Crosman are really good. 4 guns. They perform well in all of my Crosmans. And again, it's just one of those things. When you look at this, how serious are you about what you're hunting? If you're trying to use that in the field, can you close in? Obviously closer than 15 yards, so you don't get anything like that. But otherwise, 8 out of 10. Odds are on your side. All right. Well, thank you.